This episode of Translating Love is brought to you by Masters of Coffee. Because Masters of Coffee is a local Austrian company, this ad will be in German.
Yes. Zu einem ordentlichen Morgenritual gehört nur eines.
Poop?
No, Coffee. Of course. Und diese Episode wird gesponsert von Masters of Coffee. Seit Anfang 2021 gibt es sie bereits und Matthias und Bernd bringen ihr Barista-Know-how mit. Ihr Kaffee wird nicht nur online, sondern bereits in diversen Geschäften vertrieben. Und das Coole ist, man kann sie auch renten. Das heißt, rent a Barista und man kann die Masters mieten. Was auch immer ansteht, guter Kaffee sollte nicht zu kurz kommen. Das heißt, bei Hochzeiten oder bei anderen Veranstaltungen gibt es guten Kaffee direkt von den Brüdern. Und das Tolle ist, es gibt auch Workshops. So man kann für zu Hause einfach lernen, einen guten, super ordentlichen Kaffee zubereiten. Super cool. Und ein richtig cooler Service ist Pimp meine Kaffeemaschine. Also man kann wirklich seine Kaffeemaschine individualisieren mit Griffen, mit Schnickschnack, super cool. Also es ist sehr einzigartig. Und wer mehr über die Masters of Coffee erfahren will, geht auf die Homepage www.mastersofcoffee.eu, auf Facebook unter Masters of Coffee Austria oder auf Instagram unter @themastersofcoffee. Und alle Links findet ihr auch unten in der Description. Das Tolle ist auch, wer in der Linzer Area ist, kann sich auch ein persönliches Bild machen und jederzeit auf einen Café bei den Jungs im Store in der Leonfeldner Straße 328 in der Lederfabrik vorbeischauen.
With me, Dani.
4 eyes, Dani. And with me, 2 eyes, Woifi. That's right. Dani has 4 eyes now.
Yeah, I do.
She's a nerd or physically impaired person, if you will.
I'm a visually impaired person.
Physically
Visually.
impaired. I mean, that's a physical thing. You're physically impaired.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't reach shit. You don't know where to go when you have no glasses. You can't distinguish between shapes, simple shapes like circles or triangles.
I mean, that's a little over-exaggerated.
And the last couple of weeks...
He's basically trying to say, I have new glasses.
And in the last couple of weeks, she basically said my name to the dog multiple times. She thought that I'm the dog. Yeah.
And I'm like the world's biggest procrastinator. Not with everything, but with things that are like, I don't know, I don't see them as like super, super important, which is kind of funny that I don't see my eyesight as super, super important, but apparently I don't. And the last time I went to the eye doctor was in 2013.
Yeah.
It's also the last time I got new glasses was in 2013, and I never wear them, ever. Maybe sometimes if we watch a movie with subtitles, but even then, not all the time. And then I wonder why I get headaches all the time.
When was your last time at the dentist?
I don't even know.
I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. That's fine.
But I take care of my teeth. But I do need to go to the dentist. But no, my eyesight was just getting so bad that it was to the point where I was like, okay, I can't read something that's like 5 feet in front of me. Maybe it's time. And now I have new glasses and I'm supposed to wear them all the time. So
Yeah. So if you see her in the street, call her 4-eye Dani.
But they're cute glasses. I really like them. I think they look nice.
Yeah, she looks like an old lady now. But that fits because she's 30. So
yeah. 29 plus 1.
Yeah, 30.
29 plus 1.
The big free.
The big 29 plus 1.
The big free. the big half of the life.
Half?
Yeah,
Am I only living till I'm 60?
Probably not even.
Wow.
With your lifestyle.
My healthy lifestyle of being vegan and shit.
Today we're talking about being on a vacation with like your partner. And maybe some hurdles that can, arise from that.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe not, depending on how stable you're. No, it's not.
It doesn't.
Even the most stable relationships are sometimes facing problems when on vacation. And it's interesting. But we just went on vacation and we basically had no fight.
Basically, we didn't have one. I wouldn't say basically. I'd say we had no fight.
I mean, almost no fight. There were...
And I wouldn't even say that. I don't think that the one thing was almost a fight. I think it was just a thing that happened, but it wasn't even like, I don't know. I wouldn't call it that at all. I wouldn't say that we almost had a fight.
What one thing?
The thing where I gave you a birthday present and you basically
said that it's not
shat on it. And it made me feel so horrible. The thing is, here's the thing, people. It's okay to not like a gift that somebody gives you. And it's also okay not to do the thing that all of our parents taught us to do, which is just to act like you like it and say thank you. You know, it's also okay to express that you don't like it or don't want it or whatever. You know, that's fine. You don't have to fake it. But there is a wrong way to do it as well. And
is there,
Woifi chose the wrong way, where he basically... not physically, but threw it back in my face and made it seem like it was just like, how could I possibly get that for him? And it made me feel really, really bad. But we didn't fight. I wouldn't say that was a fight.
I have to say it was only part of the present.
Cried.
The other part I really liked.
I cried because it hurt my feelings the way he did it. But we just talked about it and didn't fight about it. And I think that was good.
That's true.
It could have very easily been a fight, and it wasn't.
That's true. And I have to say, I mean, through you, I learned to be more patient because you're sometimes a very complicated woman.
What? I thought you were about to say like a compliment, like I helped you become more patient.
No. I mean, yeah, you did.
You're like the least patient person I've
driving met. with someone for 8 to 10 hours in a car, and trying to navigate through things, you know, where I've never been, and stuff like that can easily lead to, you know, situations where you might be pissed or
Were
fight.
you mad at me at some point while we were driving?
No,
I don't
but
understand where you're
your
going
navigation style sometimes throws me off.
I didn't. That's the thing. You didn't ask me to navigate once. You just asked me to look at what the map was saying. And I told you what Google Maps was saying. That's not me navigating poorly. That is Google Maps not knowing where it is.
No, but you did navigate a couple of times. And it was always like, oh, you have to go here. Oh, maybe not. I don't know.
No, it was always based on Google Maps. And Google every single time was either not in the right place where it said it was. And so it was confused. So I'm like, okay, turn right, but then it rerouted. Or it was in the right place, but where it showed where the turn was so much farther up when in actuality it was right there in front of us. So it's not really my fault.
No,
I'm actually a good navigator when I need to be.
But
I can't control if the Google Maps is off or not registered properly.
But for example, the when we drove home and we looked for like a place to eat, the problem solving is sometimes not your, you know.
What are you talking about?
To find a McDonald's on the road.
Again, yeah. Why are you putting all of the stuff on me that was Google Maps' fault?
I'm not putting it. I mean, it's not. I mean, it is Google Maps' fault, but it's also not. But it's also not
my fault.
There are ways to do certain things on Google Maps when you navigate. I put it in.
I selected where our location is. No, I'm explaining it now. I put in where our location currently was, and it saw us driving. So there's the first step.
Yes.
And then I search in this area, like you do on Google Maps, and I searched for it.
Yes.
And the only ones that came up were one that we had already passed a few minutes before,
yes.
and one in like the next town over, which would have taken like over an hour to get to or something.
Yes.
Not directly on the Autobahn.
Yes, and the solution
to that is... And it wasn't until I put in add stop that it did it automatically. But it should do it automatically.
Nah, it's not. The thing
but it should if it's showing you something that's so far away, when in actuality there's so many close to where you are, it makes no sense.
I know, but that's how Google works. You have
but
to
again,
physically
do I have
put
to
in
know how Google works, and that makes me a bad
no,
navigator?
No. But that sometimes because I know those things, and I
But
sometimes
you know
feel
those
like,
things.
okay, people know those things, at least in my age group. And then that puts my patience at a test where I'm already, not because of you, but where I'm already stressed, where I'm already tired, where I'm already agitated easily.
Agitated.
So, agitated, whatever. Whatever. And so there were multiple times where I could have easily, or my older self would have easily bursted out and would have, started a fight.
But also...
So I'm very proud of myself, and you have to be very proud of me.
I want to be, but at the same time, first of all, who gets mad about something so small like that anyways?
People do.
I know, but that's not something I'm going to be proud of somebody for not being mad at.
Be proud of me, goddamn.
That's stupid.
Oida.
Why get mad about that? Who cares? Second of all, you literally not a few minutes ago blamed me, and now you just changed that to make it be like this. I'm so proud of myself because of learning that things that are out of my control. It's so obnoxious.
Yeah,
it wasn't my fault. I just didn't do it the way that you would do it.
No, it was totally your fault.
No,
yes.
This is the thing. Woifi gets upset about things. If people do things in a different way than he would do them.
No, not different. Say ineffective.
But it doesn't matter if you get to the point eventually that
you get there.
And also maybe then you help somebody learn something in like a more effective way to do something. Yeah. But if you get pissed at them, or if you say...
But I didn't. That's my point. I didn't get pissed.
Yeah, but right now the fact that you're even saying that it was my fault, or that I'm not a good navigator, or that I'm not a problem solver.
I'm obviously joking.
You're not.
Yes, I am. No, yes, I am.
So we didn't fight on vacation, but now we're going to fight here on the podcast.
No, we didn't fight. But it's just to compare the last vacation where we drove somewhere to a similar setting where we drove somewhere with the car, multiple hours in the...
We didn't fight in the car.
Not in the car, but we fought at the location. Yeah. And I don't even remember why we fought, but we fought at the location. And
I remember why we fought in Montenegro. But I don't remember.
In Montenegro?
Yeah. But I don't remember why we fought.
Oh, yeah. I remember you were so loud. I was embarrassed because there was all, like, I was working there, and those are all my, like, basically my
You want to go into, you really want to go into that story? I don't wanna, Let's not go into that story because you would feel more embarrassed than I would for being loud.
I know. But still, I remember we fought there, yeah. And no, but I meant
in Croatia. I don't remember why we fought in Croatia.
But yeah, we fought there.
Something stupid.
But, I think a takeaway is traveling is stressful. If you go by plane, it depends. If it's a 2-hour fucking flight, then yeah. If you fight on a 2-hour fucking flight, then fuck no. But it depends. If traveling, you have to go somewhere, you have to maybe rent a car, you maybe have to take a bus or like a train or like a boat or somewhere. You have to be on time, otherwise you miss it. There are a lot of factors, so there's a lot of stress involved already. And then, two people obviously react towards that stuff different. And then there is a lot of friction already and a lot of potential for fights. Mm-hmm. So I think even the happiest and the closest couples sometimes have problems in situations where they're traveling. And
but not just with the actual traveling aspect of it, but when you're actually where you are supposed to go, I think you can also... there's a lot of potential for arguing there too, because you might have a conflict of what should we do today, or right. I want to go here, and this person's like, I don't really want to go there. Right. I want to go here, and then you have this conflict of, I think that also leads to a lot of fights.
Fun story. We went on this like friends trip with a bunch of friends and basically couples to this to Croatia, and we rented this house. Oh,
you did.
Yeah. And
see, this is a story about you and your ex-girlfriend.
Danielle, shut up. Huh? And that was like the biggest problems. We got along super well, like at home, and we're very close friends. But like in a vacation situation where everyone, has different needs and wants something different, there was a lot of friction, and it basically ended up that we basically split the group in half, and the one group we only saw it at night, and we just did what we wanted to do, and the other group just did what they wanted to do, and which was fine at the end. But that also can lead, especially if you're with someone first time on vacation, and you go somewhere where you could technically explore like towns or go like do some touristy things, or maybe you could just leisure around on the pool or at the lake or whatever.
See, I don't think of that as vacation.
It doesn't matter, but some people have different,
Sure,
needs
there
and
are
different
people
wants.
who like that.
So there's a lot of friction, potential stuff for fights there. So I think that alone should be already, like, if you plan a vacation, maybe already talk about it a little bit before and what you could do potentially, not to plan it out. Some people do, which is weird.
I mean, I think it kind of depends also how far away you're traveling. If you're traveling to a place like, for example, we just went to Italy, and Italy's not that far for us. So it's not like it's like we won't ever have the opportunity to go there again, So if there's something we don't happen to see this time,
Danielle.
Which is the case this time. There was something that I wanted to see that we just it didn't work with the schedule. But in my head, I'm like, yeah, but we're so close to Italy, we can make it happen. So it's not going anywhere.
But Danielle, they won't let you back into the country. Sorry.
But for some people, it's like if you're in the US, for example, and you're saying, I'm going to go to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe you don't have an opportunity again. And so you do want to see all these things. So I think it depends on how far away you're traveling and in terms of like how much you should plan.
Also,
for what you want to see.
I mean, with everything, you have to make sacrifices. If the one person just wants to stay on the ocean and the other person wants to explore stuff, maybe then do half, or you can also split up. I mean, who's to say that you have to be together all the time? You can do just like maybe 2 or 3 days where this person does that and the other person does the other thing. Why not? But let's take a quick break. So, but I just wanted also go into the good stuff of vacation, because, vacation is fun and it's supposed to be stress-free, and it's, you should go away at some, like, get out of your comfort zone maybe and see new things, experience new cultures, and just, I don't know, let your soul be free, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe it's too metaphoric.
You should write a pop song called Let Your Soul Be Free.
Let your soul be free on vacation until we go home and facing all the shit again. Life. You're welcome. But I think, I don't know, I like when we left for vacation, I was like, I didn't sleep at all. I was so fucking anxious. I had a lot of stress. I was always, I mean, I'm still like sleep deprived, but I had a lot of expectations, but at the same time, I tried to keep them as low as possible, because I knew, first of all, with my mental health stuff, and a vacation won't fix anything. It's not like you go away and everything's fine. That's just not how it works. Sure, you might be more distracted by things, or you might be not as in your head as at home because of work or whatever. But a vacation is not like a magical thing that makes your sorrows go away. But there's also, I think it's also a good thing to just keep certain things at home. Like, I mean, for me, it was work. It was so nice to just not think about work for once. I did not think about work until Saturday, so the day before we left.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it was so nice. And that for me, because I'm working from home most of the time, that to be away from home was a big factor to just get out of my head for that. And it was super easy because I was not at home. I had nothing. I had my laptop there, but we only used it to watch porn. So but only the hardcore shit, not the softcore. But I didn't read my emails. I did not ever read once the news. So I took that out as well. So it was a big thing for me that I didn't read the news one time. which I'm proud of myself to do that. And second, I know it's a privilege, but it was really nice to not, read about the shit that's going on in the world. And it really helped me to, ease into holiday mood. Holiday mood. And I don't know. Do you have something to add to that?
I mean, I was similar. I mean, I had a lot of anxiety before we left. I have a lot of anxiety in general, but like my anxiety levels were really high before we left. And actually almost every day on vacation, it was at a low. There was the one day on vacation where the day started at like an 8 out of 10 of anxiety. I was really, really anxious. But I would say by midday, it was back down again. Mm-hmm. But that's also a big thing for me to kind of get away from the familiar. Yeah. Helps me to get out of my head.
Yeah.
And I love traveling and I love exploring new towns and new places. For George Clooney. That I love to explore new places. So like when I'm on vacation, I do like once in a while to have like the chill time, obviously. And I don't mean like stressful exploring, but I just love exploring. Yeah. And I think that's such a wonderful thing about traveling is that you see so many things that
George Clooney.
You normally don't see in your everyday life. And I think that's really wonderful. So that helped me get out of my head as well quite a bit.
George Clooney always helps.
We didn't see George Clooney.
Unfortunately not, but maybe at some point.
Maybe. But I don't know, just being also in a different culture altogether, like being in a place where they're speaking a different language than you speak because they weren't speaking English or German there. I mean, a little obviously English because it's touristy. You can usually get by with a little English, but at least in our little town, even less so.
That was fun.
It was so, I love that so much.
Like the little store.
I love kind of feeling a little helpless in that sense. I don't know why, but I think it's really.
We said thank you and hello and goodbye, and like we pointed at things and said duo of this thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was nice. And also I ordered cappuccino in Italian with soy milk. That was fun.
Duo cappuccini con latte de soia.
Right. Prego.
See, what is that? When I try Italian, my R's roll, and when I do it in German, I can't roll my R's. They roll so perfectly when I'm doing Italian words.
Nobody cares, Sean. Nobody
frustrating. Cares. I've been talking German for so long and the R's still don't roll every time. Sometimes they do.
Yeah. But, right. There's nothing I have to add.
But yes, anyways, vacation is lovely. And if you have the opportunity to take it, even if it's not like going to a foreign country, just get out of the normal for you. Get away from something that's familiar and maybe out of your comfort zone a little bit and explore new places. It could just be like, hey, I'm going to, I live in Wisconsin and I'm going to go to Utah or,
Yeah, or just watch French porn or something.
What's with you and porn?
I don't know. But I think a big takeaway is just to know that, sometimes traveling and then being there and having maybe a schedule where you want to go do this boat ride or this safari or whatever. And that can be stressful sometimes. And maybe, don't plan everything. Just say, okay, I want to do that and talk beforehand and look at things. Maybe we went there, we didn't know anything.
Nope.
And we just figured it out from there, and it was a lot of fun and a lot of exploring, and just a lot of, hey, let's live into the day and see what we want to do today.
And it wasn't stressful at all. Like we didn't ever really feel like, because there was one day where we went to this one town and then decided, let's take a ferry from this town to the town across the lake, and then a ferry again to this other town that's across the lake.
But let's just say not the flying thing with the the magical ferry. We took actually a boat.
A ferry. I think people know what a ferry is.
Yeah.
But we didn't we planned, okay, let's go to this town and then we'll take the ferry to these other places. But we didn't plan ahead of time, let's buy the tickets for the ferry. Let's see what times they're going, because it then makes it stressful. And it's like, okay, we have this much time to explore the town before we have to get on the ferry. It's just just spend the amount of time you want to spend in each place. The ferry, find out maybe how often the ferries run.
Whatever, yeah.
Or, whatever.
Yeah.
But it makes you don't have to make everything so stressful when you're on vacation. You can also just let things happen and
I think also,
enjoy it.
I think one for me, every night, I mean, we basically did the day what we want to do. Then we cooked at night because we had a little kitchen there at our Airbnb. But at the end of the night, we almost every night we spent the night in bed watching a movie or like some series or something.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I was always like, aren't we supposed to be out right now, like in town or like, getting cocktails somewhere or something? And I had also to feel like, okay, shut that off because first of all, who says that you need to do that? Who says that you need to go out? First of all, it would be a drive to go somewhere actually, because in our neighborhood there was nothing. So that alone meant we have to sit in the car for 20 more minutes and then we have to go back there again and then find something, and which also means a lot of people and maybe a lot of music. And so, I didn't feel like it. So I had to shut off my brain to say, okay, no, there's no blueprint to do vacation, right? Just do what you want to do and what feels good for you. And if it's just watching a movie at night to calm down and to reflect on the day and to just let the day wind out, that's nice. Or sit on the porch with a glass of wine looking at the beautiful lake or whatever, I think that was also a thing for me because in my previous vacations, I used to, have this pattern of, let's go out tonight and let's get food and then maybe ice cream or like a drink or something, which didn't feel right this time. And it was very nice.
But we've always been fairly chill on our vacations too. Like we do a lot during the day and then at night we kind of just chill. And I like that too.
I like that too.
I mean, it's not like we're big like night owls in terms of like we go out and party and drink and shit. And we don't do that shit.
All the time. In fact, I'm going out now.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
But I think it's so, there's nothing wrong. Like you said, there's no wrong way to do vacation. I mean, I personally think it would be a shame if all you did on vacation was sit in your room and watch movies or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if you travel somewhere. If you're just like taking a weekend away, not in any special place, but just a weekend away, totally fine. But if you're like actually in a new place and... Huh? What?
Don't judge people. Maybe people want to go to the ocean and sit in the room and watch movies all the time.
I feel like that's sad.
Yeah, that's sad. But that's it, everybody.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
If you have a story about vacation, or if you want to know something, or if you just want to talk, or whatever.
Or if you want to like know how our poop was on vacation.
Oh yeah.
Or if you want to tell us how your poop is on vacation, if you have better
changes,
poop
obviously,
or
because
bad poop.
The cuisine and the food you eat on vacation changes, so you most of the time have different poop on vacation than at home. But that's a different story.
That's a podcast for another day.
We'll be back soon. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing and giving us a review on Apple Podcast. And hit us up on Instagram.
Do it. Bye. Bye. Ciao.
Ciao, Bella.
Hey, I'm Kara, host of the Conquest of Bliss podcast, a show designed to help people explore well-being in a casual setting. The thing is that I spent a super long time searching for well-being, and once I finally started to gather some of the tools and understanding, I started wondering why it was so hard to access in the first place. So, the Conquest of Bliss was born. And even though it still feels extremely vulnerable, every week I release a new conversation about important topics that make up our well-being. Amazingly, I get to spend my time talking to experts like neuroscientists and psychologists, and lay people like plumbers, authors, and yoga instructors, all helping me working together to create a diverse, expansive library of conversations around what happiness and well-being are, what tools we can use to get there, and what it looks like sometimes when it plays out in the real world. If you want to join me on my journey, The Conquest of Bliss is available anywhere podcasts are found.